Yeah, everybody said I couldn't do it. Well, here it is to finally prove it. From Keeping It 100, Conan is on the podcast. Conan, how are you doing today?
My Wi-Fi is acting a little wacky today. It goes from like strong signal.
I'll do that intro again. It was hilarious. Everybody said I could never get him. Well, here he is, the star of Keeping It 100, Conan himself. Conan, how are you doing today?
Do you want to give me a proper introduction?
Yeah, you sounded you don't sound as Cuban as much.
Well, you
That's
call
just
me Conan. You didn't
yeah.
introduce Conan.
I thought you were Conan.
No,
No, well, we get
no.
along. It's not.
Conan's never doing your show.
That's not true. He just
No, it's not.
he just messaged me there. I'll read
No,
it
I
out.
didn't.
This is Hidely Ho Hughezy. It's
This
Conan.
fake news. You're trying to. This is the reason he doesn't do your show. Is because he does your attempts at comedy are ill-fated. To be honest.
Well, then why does it say in the second sentence? Hey, Adam. Sorry.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
How did you get like? Why did you start doing a podcast?
Well, do you know who Kevin Smith is? The film wanker.
Yeah,
I used to
he
work
did.
for.
He did like stuff with like Ben Affleck back in the day and stuff. And everything, right?
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
used to work. I used to work for him.
You work.
And
You used to work for him.
yeah, yeah.
Doing what?
Editing stuff online.
Oh, his webpage.
Yeah, yeah. And I kept meaning to start a podcast, and then I realized I started way too late
Hmm.
because if I'd have done it when he said, I'd
Where does he
probably
live?
up my arse is where he can fucking live, and he can stay there.
Where does he live?
L.A.
Well, how did he find you in Ireland to do his webpage stuff? Do you do that for a living?
No, well, I did at the time, but not because
So
basically it's
what's your to just so like because I know people that watch Keeping 100 are going to probably watch this, okay? And nobody like a lot of people in Keep 100 have no clue who you are or why you're even doing podcasts or why you even know us or why you're running a page. What is your background? Like, give me a little bit like so people know a little bit about Hughezy, how old you are, what your work history is, just so people know. Like, other than just the fact that you're just a podcast figure, there's really not much known about you.
but see, there's part of that I don't like to put out there because Keep 100 has a lot of trolls.
Well, so yeah, but you're the one that recruits the trolls with your with the way you flame the banners and the headlines on the post you make.
That is
But bro, if you're worried about revealing things about yourself because there's trolls, okay, then you are oblivious to the climate on social media because there's obviously trolls in every genre of social media. That's what people do. They just go on there to aggravate people.
I'll let out that I'm an editor.
Mhm.
I'm 35 and 6'2",
You're not 6'2".
240.
That's not true. Are you really 6'2", 240? I find that hard. The pictures that then you've been taking pictures because I've seen some pictures of you. You must be with people that are like 7'3" and 400 and something pounds because you look like you're like 5'9", 165.
All those people were your ex-girlfriends.
See, that's not funny.
Speaking of
Tell us a little
funny,
bit more. You're 30. You're 35 years old. And you edit. Okay. Now, any random person on the internet can learn how to edit stuff. All right. So what else is your level of expertise and stuff? Like what else would you do?
uh, in regards to podcasting,
Just anything.
uh, well,
Do you have a job now?
yeah, I'm an editor.
Okay, you're an editor. Right now you edit. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But what did you do before? Like to get with Kevin Smith? Is that what you were doing? You were video editing?
Well, with him, Kevin the Stooge Smith is it was kind of like what I did for mine and Conan's show, Keeping It 100. I was editing clips without permission, and then I got permission and became very close friends with the main host of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And there you go.
That's how you got with Kevin Smith?
Yeah,
He had a
because
show.
Yeah, he had this podcast, and it was getting
Oh,
really,
okay. So Kevin Smith had a podcast.
yeah, and
Okay.
I started clipping it, and it was getting these enormous views, like millions per month, and they took me on.
To do that stuff, kind of like what you do with us.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Only I would never set him up with clickbait.
Okay.
That's a wild accusation. I would never do something like that at all.
Right.
Yeah, so I've got a few gimmicks to pitch to make some money, and then we'll go into the all important interview. So up first, I've got a character called Cliff Diving, and he only comes in through the ceiling
Okay, I don't like that.
and only does area. Okay, well
I'm not supporting that one.
well, you're a very woke liberal, just like me. I'm all about vegetables and stuff. So what about this for a character? Used to work with her name's Dixie Carter in Impact, but we
Mhm.
bring her back as a transgender male, and we change her surname to Normus.
It's not funny.
What about we've got a tag team who always do blade jobs. We can call Nick and Artery.
No.
We've got a guy who's a heavy steroid user, but now he's having another one last run. Name is Mike Roballs.
Nope. Terrible.
And then we've got a guy. He's the heel female GM, also a former Hollywood producer. He goes by the character of Ray Pist.
Nope. Awful.
I'll,
These aren't even funny.
That's because we're talking.
Because the parody names have jumped the shark.
You don't
Like
think
that was a thing about a while back when everybody was making parody names, but now it's just like we've seen enough. Parody
You-
names are not funny anymore.
so? You're saying that you don't think jokes about rape are funny?
No, I just think your characters based on the parodies are not funny. They're not they're not that creative.
But you didn't hear the entrance music.
No, I don't care. I don't want to hear the entrance music.
Well, I'd love to hear your answer to this question. So, of course, with coronavirus going on and stuff, and as a long-time listener of disco interviews, you rally often against SJW culture. So, the question I've got for you is: do you think that this coronavirus shit is going to be the thing that actually kills off the social justice warrior culture?
What? How do you figure that?
Well, I mean, considering that people are fucking dying from getting.
Yeah, but not that many people are dying. They get it? It's a souped up flu, is what it is.
Yeah, but
it's basically the flu times 10, and it's times 10, but it hits. Yeah, it's times 10, but it's probably times 20 for like a. It's times 10 for people with like because here's the thing: 80% people show mild symptoms. Old people and people pre-existing conditions, more so older people with pre-existing conditions, are like 20% of it that get it worse. And so right now, with no vaccine and with no they're in the embryonic stages of testing medicines that are working. We just got to figure out, if this didn't hit the elderly and people with pre-existing conditions as hard as it does, this would just be another flu, and we really wouldn't care. We just get, bro. What's the big deal with 80% of the people that get mild symptoms? It's nothing. You're home. There's reports of people that had like an 8-hour fever. The fever broke and then they were better. And like some people just get like fever and coughs, and ends up other people get it worse. So the fact that it hits people hard, a certain segment, is like we don't know what's going to happen going forward yet.
Are you worried about it, or do you just think it's a mild hindrance?
I'm just worried about the hit to people that aren't working and their reaction going forward, and how long it will take. I wish we could just, when this thing breaks and we figure out we can all get back to doing everything normally the way we used to do it, I wish everything would just pick up from that point and start back over like it used to be, but it's going to take some time. So it's just uncertain. I don't know. I can't make any predictions or comment because there's so much uncertainty right now.